All right, so we're gearing up for Dryer Attendant interviews.
Now we're going to dive deep into RoleCatcher's resources.
To help you crush it.
Yeah, it's not just knowing the dryer.
It's way more.
You got to show them you're the one that keeps things running.
Smoothly.
Understands quality control, takes pride in the process.
So think of this deep dive.
As your secret weapon for interview success.
I love that.
What's overlooked is just how crucial these dryer attendants are. Across industries, we're talking about raw materials.
Right.
The stuff that goes into your snacks or delicate fabrics
Yeah.
coming out perfectly.
It's precision.
It's more than pushing buttons.
You know, like unevenly dried potato chips?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a snack disaster.
Talk about a sad day.
No crunch. Weird texture, probably shorter shelf life.
For sure. And it's not just food.
Right.
Textiles.
Oh.
A skilled dryer attendant
Makes all the difference.
can make the difference between a crisp, perfect garment and a shrunken, wrinkled mess.
Now I'm seeing the importance. But before we jump into the questions,
Okay.
can you paint a picture of what a typical day might look like for a dryer attendant?
Sure.
What are the conditions like?
It can definitely get hot and noisy, especially those industrial settings.
With those
massive rotary dryers.
Yeah.
Roaring away, you might be dealing with dust steam.
Oh, wow.
Depending on the industry, potentially some chemicals.
Okay, so not exactly
Right.
a climate-controlled office job.
Not at all.
But-
But there's got to be that satisfaction.
Oh, yeah. Taming those machines.
Of taming those machines, knowing you're contributing to a quality product.
For sure.
And plus, with all the advancements in technology, a lot of modern dryers
Oh, yeah.
have sophisticated control panels and monitoring systems, so it's not all manual labor.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say you ace that initial screening.
Okay.
You're sitting down for the interview.
You got to the interview.
What are some common questions they might ask?
Well, a classic one is, describe your experience with operating industrial dryers.
Okay.
This is your chance to really shine.
I bet it's not enough to just say, yep, I've used dryers before.
No. You want to go beyond the basics.
Okay.
Mention the specific types of dryers that you've operated,
Okay.
the control panels that you're familiar with,
Right.
and crucially, any safety protocols you follow.
Religiously.
Religiously, yes.
Okay.
So it's really showing them, what you're doing.
So something like, I've operated both rotary and fluid bed dryers, and I'm proficient with monitoring temperature gauges and adjusting steam pressure.
Yeah.
Safety is always my top priority.
Yeah.
So I meticulously follow all lockout, tag-out procedures.
No, you're talking.
Something like that.
That level of detail is great.
Yeah.
You're not just familiar with the concept.
Right.
You've got hands-on experience,
I've been there,
and you have a strong safety mindset.
which is a huge plus.
Huge plus.
That makes total sense. What about those questions that dig a little deeper into like your problem-solving skills?
Right.
Yeah, so
Like how you handle those unexpected situations.
they might ask, how do you handle situations where garments come out of the dryer with wrinkles or other issues?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one.
I'd probably panic
Yeah.
and blame it on the dryer.
Don't worry. We've all been there.
You're right.
The key is to describe your process for identifying the cause of the problem
Okay.
and offer specific solutions.
Okay, so let's say a garment comes out wrinkled.
Okay.
I could say, first I'd check if the dryer was overloaded.
Mm,
Too many items can impede proper airflow.
right.
If so, I'd re-dry it in a smaller load.
Yeah.
I'd also check the garment's care label
Uh-huh.
for any specific drying instructions,
Yeah.
something like that.
You're demonstrating a logical approach,
Okay.
a willingness to follow procedures.
Yeah.
You could even mention additional techniques you've used,
Oh, okay.
like using a steamer
Oh, yeah.
to remove wrinkles or spritzing the garment lightly with water and retumbling it.
On a low heat setting? On a low heat setting, yeah.
Now, that's thinking like a pro.
That's it.
It shows you're not just going through the motions, you're actually invested in getting the best results.
Absolutely.
What about those? Tell me about a time when questions.
Oh, those are always fun.
They always seem to throw me off.
Yeah, those are behavioral questions.
Okay.
And they're designed to assess your soft skills,
Mm-hmm.
like how you handle pressure, solve problems, or work in a team.
Right.
The STAR method is your secret weapon here.
Star.
Situation,
Okay.
task, action, result.
Okay.
Describe the situation, the task you had, the action you took, and the positive outcome.
Okay, so for a dryer attendant role, instead of talking about the time I aced a presentation in college,
Right.
I'd talk about a time I identified a potential dryer malfunction.
Yep.
Something like, I noticed a strange noise coming from the dryer, so I immediately stopped the machine and inspected it. I discovered a loose belt, which, if left unchecked, could have caused a major breakdown. I reported the issue to my supervisor, and we replaced the belt, preventing a costly shutdown.
Perfect example.
Does that sound about right?
You've clearly outlined the situation,
Yeah.
your task, the action you took, and the positive result,
Okay.
all while demonstrating your proactive approach and commitment to safety.
Perfect. Okay, now I'm feeling a bit more confident about those
Okay.
behavioral questions.
Yeah.
But what about those times when things don't go perfectly?
Oh, yeah.
Like if a garment gets damaged in the dryer, how do you address that?
Honesty and a willingness to learn from your mistakes.
Okay.
So you could say something like, if a garment were damaged, I would immediately report it to my supervisor and follow the company's procedures for handling such situations. I'd also take the opportunity to analyze what happened and identify any steps I could take to prevent similar incidents in the future.
That makes sense. It shows accountability
Yes.
and a desire to continuously improve.
Absolutely.
And speaking of improvement, how does RoleCatcher's AI come into play?
Oh, this is where things get interesting.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your CV and suggest improvements,
Wow.
ensuring it highlights the skills and experience most relevant to the job.
So it's like having a personalized career coach
Exactly.
in my pocket.
In your pocket, and it goes beyond the CV.
Oh, wow.
Their AI can even help you practice answering interview questions on video, providing feedback on your delivery body language, and even the content of your answers.
All tailored to the dryer attendant role.
All tailored to the role.
That's incredible.
It's a game changer.
I can already see how that could be a game changer.
For sure.
Okay, so before we dive into more interview questions, can you give us a sneak peek at some of those valuable nuggets from the Dryer Attendant Career Guide?
Of course.
What kind of insights can someone glean from that resource?
Well, the career guide is packed with helpful information like outlining the typical career progression from entry level to more senior roles.
Okay.
So you'll learn about the different responsibilities and skills required at each level.
So even if you're just starting out, you can see there's potential
Exactly.
for
Go to growth.
and advancement.
And the guide also provides a realistic look at the pros and cons of the job.
Okay, so it's setting realistic expectations.
Absolutely. So you get insights into things like work-life balance,
Okay.
potential challenges, and even average salary ranges.
That's super helpful for anyone considering this career.
It is.
It's a great resource.
And the guide also offers valuable tips on how to stand out
Right.
in a competitive job market.
Like what?
Things like earning certifications, pursuing professional development opportunities, and even networking within the industry.
Okay, I'm definitely adding that career guide to my reading list.
Please do.
Now let's tackle some more of those interview questions.
Let's do it.
I'm ready for anything.
All right. All right, let's fire up those mental dryers and tackle some more interview questions.
Okay.
Remember, preparation is key. And the more comfortable you are with these scenarios,
Right.
the smoother the real interview will feel.
Totally. I'm feeling way more prepared already thanks to this deep dive.
Good.
So what's next?
Let's say the interviewer asks, how do you ensure that garments are properly sorted before being placed in the dryer?
Okay.
This seems pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
but it goes a little deeper than just separating colors.
Right. You can't just throw everything in together
No.
and hope for the best.
No, not at all.
What are some key things to consider when sorting for drying?
You got to think about fabric types, care instructions, items with embellishments, drying temperatures. You really want to demonstrate that you understand the nuances of garment care
Right.
and that you're meticulous about preventing damage.
So instead of just saying, I separate colors, a good response might be something like, I always check the care labels and separate garments by color, fabric type, and drying temperature for delicate items. Or those with embellishments, I use mesh laundry bags to prevent snagging or damage.
Exactly.
That shows a more comprehensive approach.
Yes, you've highlighted your attention to detail,
Okay.
demonstrated a commitment to preserving those garments.
Right.
You're also showing that you understand best practices
Okay.
and are willing to go that extra mile
To ensure quality.
to ensure qualities.
Okay. I'm starting to see a pattern here.
What's that?
It's all about showcasing those proactive problem-solving skills.
Yes, definitely.
What about equipment maintenance?
Okay.
What kind of questions might they ask about that?
A common one is, how do you maintain the dryer equipment to ensure its optimal performance?
Okay.
So this is your chance to really show that you understand that a well-maintained dryer is a safe and efficient dryer.
So it's not enough to just say, I empty the lint trap.
That's not enough. No.
What other tasks should I mention?
You want to go beyond the obvious talk about inspecting the dryer vent for any blockages,
Okay.
checking the drum for debris or damage,
Right.
cleaning the interior according to manufacturer recommendations,
Okay.
even mentioning any experience with like routine maintenance checks,
Mm-hmm.
like inspecting belts,
Okay.
lubricating moving parts.
Shows you're proactive.
It shows you're proactive, exactly.
So a good response might be, I prioritize regular maintenance to ensure the dryer operates safely and efficiently. This includes cleaning the lint trap after each cycle, inspecting the dryer vent regularly, and cleaning the drum and interior according to manufacturer guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I also conduct routine checks on belts and other moving parts to ensure they're in good working order.
That's a great answer.
Something like that.
Yeah, you've clearly demonstrated your understanding of routine maintenance procedures
Okay.
and your commitment to preventing potential problems.
Right.
Remember, a dryer attendant who takes pride in their equipment
Yes.
is a valuable asset.
Yeah. Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. Now, what about those questions that focus on safety regulations? I imagine that's a big deal
Oh, huge.
in this role.
Yeah, you might be asked something like, how do you ensure that the dryer equipment is in compliance with safety regulations?
Okay.
This is about showing that you're not just knowledgeable about safety protocols, but that you actively prioritize them.
So should I mention specific safety regulations
Yes.
that I'm familiar with?
Definitely mentioning OSHA regulations or any industry-specific safety standards
Right.
that are relevant to dryer operation and maintenance demonstrates that commitment
Okay.
to a safe work environment.
So I could say something like, I'm familiar with OSHA regulations and industry best practices for dryer operation and maintenance. I always conduct pre-shift inspections of the equipment, checking for any signs of damage or malfunction. I ensure all safety guards are in place and that the dryer is properly ventilated before operation.
That's excellent. It really shows you're taking safety seriously,
Not just ticking boxes.
not just ticking boxes.
What if I'm asked about a specific regulation I'm not familiar with? What's the best way to handle that?
That's okay. It's perfectly fine to say you're not immediately familiar,
Right.
but emphasize your willingness to learn
Okay.
and stay up to date.
So I could say, while I'm not familiar with that particular regulation offhand, I'm committed to staying informed about all relevant safety standards, and I'm always eager to learn new procedures to ensure I'm operating the equipment safely and responsibly.
Perfect.
Something like that.
It shows you're proactive and committed to continuous learning,
Okay.
which is great to highlight.
Right. But let's be honest. Sometimes those unexpected questions,
Oh, yeah.
they can really throw you off.
They can?
What if they ask something I haven't prepared for at all?
Don't panic.
Okay.
Take a moment to gather your thoughts, and if you need a little time,
Mm-hmm.
don't be afraid to say, that's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment.
Okay.
Remember, it's not about having all the answers perfectly memorized.
Right.
It's about demonstrating your ability to think, critically problem solve,
Yeah.
and communicate effectively.
Okay, that's reassuring to hear. Before we move on to the final set of questions, I want to circle back to RoleCatcher's AI.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that it can help tailor answers and provide feedback
Yes.
for specific job roles. Can you elaborate on that a little more?
Absolutely. Imagine practicing your answers on video and having an AI analyze your performance,
Wow.
giving you personalized feedback on your delivery body language and even the content of your answers, all tailored specifically to the dryer attendant role.
That's amazing. It's like having a virtual interview coach
It is in my pocket,
in your pocket.
giving me real-time feedback and helping me fine-tune my approach.
Exactly. It can help you identify areas where you excel
Okay.
and pinpoint any areas that might need improvement, allowing you to present yourself with confidence and clarity.
This is all so incredibly helpful. I'm feeling much more prepared
Good.
for my dryer attendant interview.
I'm glad to hear that. What other interview gems do you have for us? Okay, we're back for our final stretch of the dryer attendant interview prep.
All right.
I'm feeling energized and ready to tackle any question
That's the spirit.
they throw my way. But before we jump back in the hot seat,
Okay.
I'd love to hear more about those career insights.
Yeah,
You mentioned from the Dryer Attendant Career Guide.
of course.
What kind of nuggets of wisdom can we unearth from that resource?
Well, the career guide really is a goldmine of information.
Look.
For anyone considering this path, it breaks down the typical career stages,
Okay.
starting with the entry-level roles, outlining that progression to more senior positions.
Okay, so you can see there's potential for growth,
Well,
even if you're just starting out.
Exactly. You'll see what responsibilities and skills are expected at each level.
Right.
So it gives you a clear roadmap,
For growth.
advancement specialization.
And it also highlights the importance of continuous learning,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's through on-the-job training online courses, or earning industry certifications.
There's always opportunities to enhance your skills and knowledge.
So this isn't just like a dead-end job. There's room to really grow and specialize.
Exactly. It's not a dead end at all.
Okay.
There's always room to grow.
But let's be honest, no job is perfect.
Right.
The career guide also addresses the potential downsides.
Yes. It provides a balanced perspective by outlining the challenges you might face.
Oh?
The work can be physically demanding, often involving repetitive tasks, long hours.
Yeah.
The environment can be hot, dusty, noisy, especially in those industrial settings.
And depending on the industry, there might be exposure to chemicals or other potentially hazardous materials.
Exactly. It's important to go in with a realistic understanding of the work environment and the demands
Absolutely.
of the job.
That's valuable information for anyone considering this career path.
It is.
Okay, so let's get back to those interview questions.
Let's do it.
We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
but I'm always eager for more.
One question that often stumps candidates is, why are you interested in this role?
Okay.
It seems simple, but there's a way to answer it
Mm-hmm.
that really sets you apart.
I bet it goes beyond just saying, I like working with machines, or it seems like a steady job.
Yeah. You want to go beyond that.
Okay.
This is your chance to connect your skills and interests
Mm-hmm.
to the specific company and the role itself.
Right.
Do your research beforehand, look into the company's products, their values, their reputation, and then tailor your answer to demonstrate your genuine interest in working for them.
Okay, so if I'm applying for a dryer attendant position at a company that produces organic snacks, I might say something like, I'm impressed by your company's commitment to sustainable and healthy food production, and I'm eager to contribute my skills to a team that's making a difference in the way people snack.
Now, that's a great answer.
Something like that.
It shows you've done your homework and that you're not just looking for any job.
Right.
You're looking for the right job.
It's all about showing that genuine interest.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a great tip. Now, what about those final words of wisdom?
Okay.
Any closing thoughts or advice to really help nail that interview?
Remember, an interview is a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about them evaluating you. It's also an opportunity for you to assess
Oh, yeah.
if this company is the right fit.
Right. For me,
For you, don't be afraid to ask questions about the work environment, the company culture, opportunities for growth. Your curiosity shows that you're engaged
right.
and invested in finding that match.
It's easy to get caught up in the pressure
It is.
of impressing them, but we're evaluating them too.
Exactly. And lastly, remember, confidence comes from preparation.
Mm-hmm.
The more you research the company, the role, the industry, and the more you practice those answers, the more self-assured you'll feel walking into that interview.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
This has been such an incredibly insightful deep dive. I feel like I've gained a whole new level of understanding about the dryer attendant role and the interview process.
And with RoleCatcher's resources and AI tools, you're well on your way
I am.
to interview success.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
It's been my pleasure.
We hope you feel empowered and prepared to rock those dryer attendant interviews.
You got this.